Jungs, wieder bei Tales of Berseria. Beim letzten Mal haben wir hier, ja, ich überlege gerade, was wir letztes Mal mehr gemacht haben, außer nur Skits. Wir haben unser nächstes Ziel. Auf jeden Fall wollten wir nach Midgand. Jo.
Our scout ship has returned.
Na,
Show us your determination.
immerhin 2 Siege.
Let's do this one run, get you
Ja, komm. Kristalleisen mehr. Aha. Aber wir haben... Ah doch, wir haben das Valkyries Crew ja schon. Okay, ich habe nichts gesagt. Auf zum Kristalleisen. Das... Weiß ich nur gerade nicht, aus welchem Spiel das ist. So, ich meine, wir wollten noch... war da noch irgendwas? Da hinten ist was. Ansonsten nicht. Waren wir da überhaupt schon einmal bisher? Das ist jetzt die andere Seite der Docks. Ich glaube nämlich, da waren wir noch gar nicht bisher. Das ist nebenbei der falsche Weg dafür. Dumm. Das war halt, ich wollte nach der letzten Aufnahme zumindest einmal noch schon mal schlafen gehen. Einfach mal meine SA aufzufüllen. Guck dann so auf die Karte und merkt dann so, Moment, hier waren wir den anderen Docks noch gar nicht. Das kann ich ja gar nicht einfach so zeigen. Ups. Naja, dann laufen wir eben da schnell hin. Geradeaus. Da, ist das richtig? Jetzt sind wir wieder in einem großen Raum. Ja, und hier nach links. Naja, ich sag mal, storymäßig kommt man nicht so häufig zu den hinteren Docks bisher. Also so ziemlich gar nicht. Dementsprechend waren wir wahrscheinlich auf Display auch noch nicht da hinten. Sieht im Endeffekt genauso aus wie die anderen Docks, nur dass halt da in der einen Ecke noch das Innen drin ist. Wir können auf jeden Fall mal kurz rauslaufen, damit wir dann das quasi auch als Teleportpunkt haben. Ist überhaupt noch irgendwas? Eine Truhe? Nee. Ich sehe gerade auf der Karte, hier sind noch keine Truhen. Nur ein paar Leute, die angeln. Und pflanzen. Okay. Immerhin ein kleines bisschen boosten durch die Pflanze. So. Da es im Gasthaus ist, gehe ich mal davon aus, es ist wieder so eine von den Rokoko-Trainingsszenen. Wo ich mich hier immer noch frage, wo schlafen wir hier denn?
The oldest
doch nicht.
known map of the world was made by... Wow, it took them decades.
You always look so happy when you've got your nose in a book. What's so interesting about the one you've got there?
It's a book about surveying. When I read it, I can imagine myself traveling afar and making maps of the world. It sounds like so much fun.
I know just how you feel. I know Magilu and the others don't understand. But I just can't help but feel excited when I think about us completing a map of the entire world.
It's the thought of treasure that gets me more fired up.
Obviously, there's treasure waiting to be unearthed too, but that's more of a bonus on the side. Crossing uncrossable oceans, going to lands where none have gone before. The voyage itself, the dance with death, these things hold value greater than that of any treasure.
Ah, adventure. Truly the romance of the quest we call life.
Laphicet, you had a map, didn't you? The one you dropped when we first met?
It's a world map I got when I was with the Abbey, but I only checked out the places really close by. I could hardly call it adventure.
There's more to adventuring than visiting far-off lands and sailing stormy seas, you know. Adventures are about achieving your ambitions and leaping across the walls we've built to protect ourselves, no matter the danger that waits on the other side. There are no big or small adventures.
Even if I only went to Helavis and the Figal ice caps?
Think of it like this. When you sneaked out of town without the Abbey noticing, when you walked the land and compared it to your map, how did that make you feel?
It was scary, but fun. Exhilarating.
Then it was an adventure. The map you made within yourself is a treasure that's only yours.
Wow, my very own treasure.
sehr philosophisch irgendwo auch, wie die jetzt darüber gesprochen haben. Ist doch noch eine Quest. Okay. Jetzt Rokuro? Nein.
Whoa, awesome.
Jetzt mit den Mädels?
I swear, the second he has a spare moment, he buries himself in his books.
Knowledge opens up bigger worlds. I imagine that back when Teresa was bossing him around, reading was a fun escape, an adventure in and of itself.
What's up, you guys?
You're reading a pretty hard book there, aren't you?
This? It's about dinosaurs. It says that long before humans were around, these huge creatures ruled the world. There are so many different kinds, like tyrannosaurs and triceratops and brachiosaurs. They're all so cool.
They look like dragons to me.
They look similar, but dinosaurs couldn't live inside volcanoes, and they didn't do well in the cold either. But they were crazy huge and strong. Nothing else could even compete with them.
I bet they would have made for great sparring partners. I think this Gigantospinosaurus might be my favorite.
Those two huge points jutting out from both sides of its body make it look just like you and your two swords.
Actually, it's also known as the dual-bladed dragon.
Wow, it really does sound like a perfect match for me then.
Okay, so if they weren't dragons, what were they?
They look a lot like lizards.
Maybe they're like my ancestors or something.
But you used to be a human.
Damn, I think I might have gotten a bit too used to this new body of mine.
I wonder if their tails can fall off too.
Naja, rein technisch gesehen sind die Nachfahren der Dinosaurier ja eigentlich die Vögel. Und noch mehr Szenen. Was haben wir denn jetzt?
Did you ever figure out if that bug was a stag or a rhinoceros beetle?
Actually, I still haven't really looked into it.
Why not? Weren't Rokuro and Aizen pretty curious to find out too?
They're why I haven't. They both have really strong opinions, and they both make a believable argument. And if I determined it was a new kind of beetle entirely, my decision would change the very course of their fates.
Their fates? I think you're exaggerating things.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
We're still hashing out what that Rhinostagros really is. Kiddo here's holding off on his final decision because he's worried about how you'll take it.
You're both adults. Can't one of you just give in so we can move on?
It's a rhinoceros beetle. I'm not backing down on that.
No, it's a stag beetle.
Why not just take off the pointy bits? Then we can all agree it's just a plain old beetle. Simple.
Sounds good to me.
Don't even joke about that. If you took away my swords, I wouldn't have anything left. Same thing goes for a stag beetle and its pincers.
And taking away a rhinoceros beetle's horns is disrespectful to its way of life, and to even suggest it is just plain wrong. No, if we're going to argue it out over this, we need to exhaust every possible angle before coming to a conclusion. It's the right thing to do.
Madam Eleanor! Here's that field guide to rare insects of Midgand you wanted me to get you.
Thanks, Bienfu. Surely this book will have something about that bug. Yeah, here it is. This beetle's real name is Argonathocrassus, the thick-jaw beetle.
It's named for its jaws? That must make it a stag.
It's a drone beetle. The field guide says it's a really rare variety, too. I guess that's that.
No, you're wrong. It's a brand new species. I call it the Laphicet Rhinostagros. That's my decision and I'm not backing down.
Wir haben jetzt zumindest einen endgültigen Namen von dem Ding? Okay, wir sind durch. Dann können wir uns jetzt auch endlich mal der Story widmen. Vielleicht.
Hey, Aizen, is there, anything we can do about the prince's hawk? Griffin, I mean. Every day, it goes out on these hunts or whatever, and brings back the weirdest stuff. It's making a real mess out of the deck.
Hawk's hunt. What's the big deal?
Well, yeah. At first it was bringing back good stuff like seaweed and fish, things we could cook with. Sure, I was glad for a while. But then it started to escalate. Now we're talking 150 kilo ambercants and 350 kilo killer swordfish that it's catching.
That's not a bad thing, is it? It just means more to eat.
It is when they're being dropped from the sky onto the deck. Especially those killer swordfish and razor-sharp bills. What if somebody gets run through by one?
Can't you just warn the prince that his bird needs to be more careful?
Yeah, we could, but he looks so happy watching his hawk. I'd hate to spoil it for him.
Yeah, the prince looks so happy whenever Griffin is flying free. He kept grinning and asking Grocky all nice-like if he wanted to fly some more.
Grocky?
That's what Kamawana kept calling Griffin. She says she came up with it by combining Griffin and Hawk.
This is probably the first time in the prince's life that he's tasted any freedom. His whole life, he's only done what duty dictated of him. Letting Griffin fly was his first free act. To the prince, Grocky's an extension of who he is.
So what are we going to do?
Nothing, really. It's not like it really hurt anybody.
But it's punctured some major holes on the deck.
I'm sure even the prince knows when to rein it in. Let him have a little fun. He deserves it.
I don't know about all that. I'd say the prince is letting his newfound freedom get the better of him. Hey, I was just up on deck and it looks like Griffin's caught an elephant tuna this time.
An elephant tuna? That's the really big tuna that can swallow a killer whale whole, right?
That almost sounds like a demon to me.
Yep, huge fish, gills like elephant ears. I saw it myself. From the looks of it, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a demon. It's crazy valuable. On a good day, it can fetch 20 million gold on the market. But there's something ominous about seeing it hovering in the air above the ship.
20 million gold? I take back everything I said. The prince and Griffin can do whatever they want.
Did she say above the ship?
Oh, hell. Benwick, we need to stop Prince Percival.
Aye, aye, sir. Hey! Don't drop that on the deck! Are you listening to me?
Okay. Okay. Der Greif macht interessante Sachen. So, wir dürfen es endlich verlassen nach 12 Minuten. Haben wir noch irgendeins? Nee, die haben wir schon besucht. Resold können wir nicht. Wo war das nächste von Luffy Set ist, wo ich da gerade drüber nachdenke? Figal Eisspitzen. Und das ist wahrscheinlich da, wo wir gerade nicht hin können. Ne, wird doch gar nicht angeboten. Na gut, dann nach Sachsenhafen. Müssen wir noch nach Midgand. Irgendwo dort. Ich weiß jetzt gar nicht, wo wir als nächstes hin müssen. Also ich weiß, welcher Therion theoretisch als nächster kommt. Aber der Weg dahin, den habe ich gerade noch nicht so ganz im Kopf.
The boss has given me a message for you. Says there's some sort of nasty demon running around in the Eldina Plains, to the east of Logris. She thought it might be the one you're looking for.
Wasn't the Eastern Highway closed off from Logris?
That was only temporary. It's back open now. If you follow the road, you'll reach Stonebury Village. There you'll find one of ours who actually saw the demon. You want to know more? That'd be a good place to start.
Got it.
Hey, that's the same direction I sensed the...
Give Tabitha our thanks.
It's looking more and more like we're on the right track. We ought to go check out that Bloodwing story.
Then let's start by going to Stonebury.
Hey, Eisen, did I say something wrong back there?
No. I just didn't think we needed to give the Bloodwings any information for free.
Huh?
He means the Earth Pulse points, kid. We're the only ones who know about them.
But aren't we on the same side as the Bloodwings?
We're not enemies with them. but I wouldn't go so far as to call them our friends either.
That's just how it goes in the underworld. Things can change at the drop of a hat. A poison hat.
But how are they supposed to trust us if we don't show them trust in kind?
That messenger knew our faces, even though we'd never met. He was here waiting for us, even though we hadn't told anyone where we were going.
You're right.
We hardly know the first thing about them, and yet they seem to know every move we make.
They could easily sell us out if it struck their fancy.
They'll work with us as long as we're a useful ally in their resistance against the Abbey. But the more tricks we can keep up our sleeve, the better.
We've got each other's back, but only as long as we hold a knife up our sleeve. That's what counts as trust in the underworld.
That sounds terrible. But at least you can trust that Tabitha's cooking will be tasty.
Can't argue that.
Immer schön ans Essen denken.
This is everyone's first time to Stonebury, right?
Why was it blocked off? Demons?
No, there was a great tornado on the Aldina Plains that swallowed up a whole merchant caravan. Hundreds gone in an instant.
The cooling of the climate is causing bouts of odd weather. Thunderstorms, heavy downpours, and the like.
Correct. The Abbey is keeping a tight guard on traffic through the affected areas.
If it's open now, that must mean the tornado is gone.
I wonder what sort of place it is.
It's quite lovely. In the vast forest to the east, you can find gemstones, and it's teeming with rare plants and insects. The locals trade only as much meat and hides as they need, and they live peaceful, quiet lives.
You sure know a lot about this place.
It's where the Norman he first fell in love with grew up.
Yeah! Please don't embarrass me. Though we are apart from each other now, our hearts are still as one.
Immediately after you and I made our pact and set off, she fell in love with some macho Norman and moved away.
What? Why haven't I heard about this? How long have you known?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I found out during my long search for you. Or maybe it was right after we left. I remember leaving something in the village and going back to... Oh well, not like it matters.
It does matter!
There's no sense in crying over a fickle girl. Come, Stonebury awaits.
Tja, kein Glück für Bienfu. Okay, im Kasse. Meine Güte, also, die hauen ja echt die Gespräche aktuell echt raus, ne? Was haben wir denn da? Ebene von Aldina und da Wald. Jetzt fällt mir wenigstens wieder ein, was jetzt die nächste Mission ist und was als nächstes passiert. Jo. Irgendwo hier. Ach, da.
The Eastern Plain is finally open for travel. I hear that the people of Stonebury are alive and well. My husband and I can breathe a sigh of relief.
I wasn't worried about him at all.
He talks tough, but he was really worried. Oh, sorry you don't know who we're talking about. It's his apprentice.
What kind of apprentice?
My husband's an architect. Even the royal family and the Abbey commission his work. He's been at the docks here on a job. He just finished and we're about to return to Logris.
These people don't care about all that.
Why did your apprentice go to Stonebury?
He's young and talented, but a bit eccentric. He said he wanted to help create a new town, so he set off to the frontier.
A craftsman has to focus on his work. Creating a new town. Ha! He should know his place.
But my husband didn't disown him. That boy's fearlessness reminds me of my husband when he was young.
So you understand how he feels then?
I didn't say that. If he thinks he has the talent, he's free to do as he likes. But if he doesn't follow through with it to the end, I'll be done with him.
Did you hear that? He thinks the boy can do it. If you ever find yourself in Stonebury, go visit that boy's workshop.
Right, I'll do that.
Sorry about my husband. He can be a real grump.
Don't worry about it. I'm pretty used to people like that.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Aber eben eine ganze Stadt aufbauen. Der hat Motivation, der Junge. Moment. Ich gucke in die falsche Richtung.
I'm so happy things have been peaceful around the capital. I can come to the harbor to shop without fear. I heard that those demons that made a mess of the palace have been wrecking towns all over, though. but Shepherd Artorias and the fine folks at the Abbey are on the job. I bet those demons are quaking in their britches.
Let's hope that's the case.
Of course it is. Lord Artorias is incredible. The demons have been mostly cleared from the area around the capital.
Your love for the Abbey and the Shepherd are great and all, but I'd keep it down. If you keep poking around the bushes, you might catch yourself a snake.
A snake?
There's a rage-crazed girl out there who hates the Abbey. She's a real viper, that one.
She sounds awful.
That's what I hear.
Who are you calling a viper?
Viper, Velvet. Klingt ja doch schon fast ähnlich. So. Halt Diener-Ebene. Ja, das ist da, wo wir halt noch nicht hin durften. Kürzen wir ein kleines bisschen ab. Na, Logos selbst müssen wir ja nicht erstmal. Auch weil ich ja immer noch ein Gebiet die ganze Zeit nicht besucht habe. Weiß auch nicht, ich bin irgendwie ständig dran vorbeigelaufen. Ich hab's vergessen, dass es da noch was gibt.
Used to what?
Your powers. I think I finally got a handle on them in a way that feels right.
That's good. Hopefully you won't faint anymore.
Yeah, and I'll keep learning too. I hope we can make this work out.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Hey! When you and Eleanor made your pact together, she gave you a true name, right? Was it a good one?
True name? What's that?
It's a special name in the ancient tongue given to a Moloch as a necessary step in forming a pact with a human. I gave Bienfu the name Fushicas. It means thing.
That's pretty messed up.
It's just my own little way of showing affection.
So what kind of name did you get, Laphicet? What's the matter? She didn't give you a really weird name like Magulu gave Bienfu, did she? If you're not happy with it, I can talk to Eleanor about it later. So go on and tell me...
I'm fine with it. And I can't tell you anyway.
Well, you don't have to get so worked up about it.
A true name is not something a Moloch just casually divulges to others. They carry a special meaning to us. Speaking it to anyone other than our Pact Keeper carries a special meaning. Between comrades, it means we trust them with our lives. In other cases, it's...
practically a confession of love!
You could have said something sooner, you know.
Laphicet's at a delicate age. You should be more careful in the future.
Oh, really? It's just another way of showing affection.
Okay. Irgendwie konnte ich gerade mal hier ins Menü. Was haben wir denn Schönes von dir bekommen? Okay, nichts gesehen. Naja. Sieht man aus wie ein riesiger Pyjama dann ohne seine Jacke. So. Da haben wir diesen Part effektiv eigentlich nur geschafft, bis hierhin zu laufen. Da guck mal, sind auch von den Blutschwingen. Damit wir dann im nächsten Part hier dann weitergehen können. Ja, dann würde ich sagen, das war's von diesem Part. Danke fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal.